Welcome to Walking His Way podcast, where we'll discuss some of the things that Jesus told us to teach each other if we want to walk His way. My name is Don Fanning. Sometimes things just don't ever work out and we get pretty discouraged. We kind of want to quit. I don't know if you've ever gotten that feeling or not, but I sure have. Nothing goes right. Everybody's against me. Everything breaks down. And it gets pretty frustrating as to why to continue. Lots of people have gone through this. But let's see how Paul faced these kind of challenges and make a difference in our life. In 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, Paul writes, "Be encouraged." As the old saying goes, cheer up, things could get worse. So I cheered up, and sure enough, things got worse. Believers could leave the world's problems outside the gathering and together celebrate the unchangeable wonders of personally knowing the God of creation and the redemption of the one who really cares for them. In 2 Corinthians 13:11, Paul uses the passive command form of the verb be comforted, or take our appeal to heart. The verb form is used 105 times in the New Testament, and it's an important element of our walk with Christ. Paul was not exempt from suffering or discouragement. Nothing went the way he planned. Bearing the greatest news since the dawn of creation, he was still met with hostility and rejection. Seems like everywhere he went. After being beaten and left for dead by the road, then imprisoned, thrown out of towns with only a handful of precious converts for all of his efforts, he arrived in Corinth extremely discouraged. In fact, he's ready to give up. He says, "We were crushed and overwhelmed beyond our ability to endure, and we thought we would never live through it." 2 Corinthians 1:8. Paul's discouragement seemed to reach a peak by the time he got to Corinth. He didn't know if he could go on. And then at the end of his strength and determination, Paul learned in the midst of failure that a deeper consolation is waiting to be claimed. Jesus is with us through it all. He said, "Lo, I'm with you," Matthew 28:20. And this is our comfort. We're never alone. In 2 Corinthians 1, verses 3 to 4, Paul wrote, "The God of all comfort, who comforts us in all of our troubles, so that we may be able to comfort those who are experiencing any trouble with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God." If you've learned to be comforted in the times of your discouragement, you can learn to be encouraged. You're not alone, don't forget. The word comfort is the same word used in 2 Corinthians 13:11. Paul tells us, "I learned in whatsoever state I am to be content." I know how to be abased, that is to have needs, and I know how to abound, to have everything met and overflowing. Everywhere and in all things I have learned both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4, verses 11 through 13. If Paul could be comforted by walking close to Jesus, so can I, and so can you. He'll fill your heart with His joy, just knowing that He's with you. Pray like this: "Keep my heart satisfied in your presence and my mind filled with your purpose for my life. And grant me enough encouragement each day to stay positive for others who might become discouraged, even more so than I." Thank you for being with me. Well, take these words to heart, and I trust that you'll learn that this is really a serious command, not just a positive suggestion, but a command that we're to take heart, and we're responsible to be encouraged no matter what happens in our life. And not just for us, for the people around us. It's the greatest testimony that Jesus is real when we can be encouraged. Hope you keep following me on this as we learn together how to walk His way.